The witness for the second respondent at the ongoing presidential petition hearing at the Supreme Court, Dr. Kwadwo Afari-Djan, concluded his evidence-in-chief today. This paved the way for his cross-examination to follow. However, counsels could not agree on which of them to begin. The judges therefore decided to go on recess, returning with a ruling that counsel for the first and third respondent should cross-examine the witness, Dr. Kwadwo Afari-Djan.
It is 26 days since the 2012 presidential election petition hearing at the Supreme Court started, and today Dr. Kwadwo Afari-Djan rounded up his evidence-in-chief. He covered areas which the petitioners claim amount to irregularities, violations, malpractices, and unknown polling stations. He refuted claims by the petitioners that there were overvoting at some 5 polling stations and sought to tender in voters' registers for those polling stations. However, counsel for the petitioners, Mr. Philip Addison, described the bid by the second respondent to tender in the document as a surprise, and that the voters' register should not be deemed as the primary source of reference.
The register sought to be tendered is a new register prepared by the EC. This is not the register that was used at the polling station. This is not the register that was given to the political parties. At least this is not the register, my lord, that was given.
You can challenge him in cross-examination, my lord. I object.
However, the court overruled the objection raised by Mr. Addison.
Majority of 8 to 1. Bafubani JSC dissenting. The objection is overruled.
With regards to the non-sign-up pink sheets by presiding officers, Dr. Afari-Djan said it will not significantly affect the results.
Even though that failure to sign is an irregularity, it will not affect the validity of the results. And therefore, from the point of view of the Commission, where the presiding officer has not signed, but the agents have signed, we accept the result.
When it was time for cross-examination, counsel for the first and third respondents were of the view that the petitioner's counsel must begin. The court, however, ruled that counsels for first and third respondents, Mr. Tonilita and Mr. Tachuchi Kata, begin the process. Spokespersons for the petitioners and the respondents, Ms. Gloria Kufu and Nana Atudazi, recounted the day's proceedings.
Those registers that they sought to tender were not the documents that were used in the last elections. Registers that were used in the elections would find ticks of pen taking away voters who presented themselves, so that on the face of it, you could just by counting the ticks determine how many people presented themselves and were checked for voting. Nothing. Clean documents. Indeed, counsel for the Electoral Commission himself, when asked of the whereabouts of the registers that were used for the elections, his response was that they are in the constituencies.
As a general rule, the major party in the case will have to cross-examine first. And the petitioners, they know that they were to cross-examine first. But they said that they thought that the interests of the first and third defendants appeared to converge with that of the second defendant. And the first and third defendants were insisting that the petitioners should, as is normal in court, be the first to cross-examine.
Sitting will continue tomorrow. The court indicating the KPMG issue will be the first to be dealt with.